Hello friends, I'm here with a new Tinkercad project and today you will learn something very new. So guys, have you heard of switch and capacitor? A switch is an electrical component that can connect or disconnect the conducting path in a circuit. And a capacitor is a device used to store an energy. So today you will learn about capacitor and switch. So let's start. You know how to light an LED using a battery. For that, we just need to choose an LED and a coin battery. Now connect the positive terminal of battery to anode of LED and negative terminal of battery to cathode of LED. The LED will turn on when you connect it properly. Did you see that the LED is on when you click on Start Simulation? So now we can study about switch. We have two types of switch here, push button switch and slide switch. Let's see how this switch works. If we want to turn on or turn off an LED, we have to cut the wire. So in order to avoid this, we can use a switch. Now we can start with a push button switch. It can be placed either in positive connection or in negative connection. All you have to note down is to pass the circuit through this switch. So when the push button switch is pressed, the contact between its two terminals is reached and the circuit is complete. Then the current flows through the switch, which makes our LED turn on. So we can connect the negative terminal of battery to 1A terminal of push button switch. Now from this terminal 2B, connect it to the cathode of our LED. Now click on Start Simulation. You can see our LED is off. This is because we haven't pressed the switch. So press the switch and our LED is on now. So switches we use in TVs are push button switches. Now we can do the connection in any other terminal of the switch. So in this connection we connected to terminal 1A and 2B. So let's check what happens if we connect the cathode of LED to 1B terminal of push button. So connect the wire from 1B terminal of push button to cathode. Now click on Start Simulation. You can see our LED is on even if we didn't press the push button. This is because the terminals 1A and 1B share same polarity. If 1A is given negative polarity, 1B will also get the negative polarity. So we need to choose the terminal which is not being shared with. So we can choose either 2A or 2B to connect cathode. So I have connected 2A to cathode and you can see when I pressed Start Simulation, our LED is off, and when I press the switch, our LED becomes on. So now we can remove this push button switch and the wires. Now select the sliding switch. You can see that the sliding switch have two terminals and one common. Now connect the common to the negative terminal of battery. You can connect either terminal 1 or terminal 2 to cathode of LED. Here we can connect terminal 2 to cathode so that when we slide the switch to terminal 2, our LED will be on, and when we slide it back to terminal 1, LED becomes off. Click on Start Simulation. You can see LED is off Now, when the switch is slided to terminal 2, our LED becomes on. And you can see that when it's slided back to terminal 1, LED becomes off. Let us change the connection. Connect cathode to terminal 1 of sliding switch and check what will happen now. Click on Start Simulation. Yes, our LED is on because our switch is slided to terminal 1. Now when it is in terminal 2, our LED is off. So yes, guys, we are done with the switch. Now let us learn about capacitor. Capacitor is a very common component that can be seen in almost all circuits, just like resistor. The purpose of capacitor is to store the charge. We can learn the working of a capacitor by doing a circuit. Capacitor is of two types, polarized capacitor and non-polarized capacitor. This blue color capacitor is a non-polarized capacitor which has no positive and no negative. For this circuit, we need a polarized capacitor. Now select polarized capacitor. You can see that polarized capacitor is having a positive terminal and a negative terminal. Now remove this non-polarized capacitor. Connect the terminal 2 of sliding switch to negative of capacitor. Connect the positive terminal of capacitor to anode of LED. You need to connect it to anode of LED. Now we need to connect cathode. So connect this cathode to negative of capacitor. So connecting the wire from cathode to the negative of capacitor. We can change the wire color. So give black to all the negative connections and red to positive connections. Now check the voltage rating and capacitance of the capacitor. You can see the voltage rating is 16 and capacitance is 1 microfarad. Now click on Start Simulation. So switch on it and you can see our LED becomes on. Guys, can you see a slight blink before it turns off? Let's check it. Yes, so you can see a slight blink before it turns off. Let us change the capacitance value now. We can make it to 100 microfarad. So type 100 there. Make the switch on and yes, you can see our LED is on and the blinking time increased. Now change the capacitance value to 1000 microfarad. So you can see the LED will not turn on as soon as we switch it on. Also will not turn off as soon as we switch it off. Now make the capacitance value farad. Click on Start Simulation. Now slide the switch to terminal 2. You can see the LED will not turn on as soon as we switch it on. This is because the capacitor must be fully charged first and only then the LED will become charged. Then only our LED will be on. This is the charging time of the capacitor. And when we slide it back to terminal 1, you can see the LED is still on. The LED will turn off after a while when the switch is turned off because it is the time to discharge the capacitor charge. So this is how our capacitor will charge and discharge. So today you have learned about switch and capacitor. I hope you enjoyed this session. We will meet again in next session with new project. Till then, bye.